Don in London, hello. October 22nd, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol. My behaviour, trying to be perfect, never so. Often full of fear over the years of my drinking and putting on a brave face, having a stiff upper lip, pulling my socks up, getting on with it, covering up and not dealing with my feelings. And I guess that was the way I was taught, but there's no blame attached to that. It's the way we are brought up sometimes, and we are all driven to succeed in some way. So the idea of perfection has always been there in the back of our minds, probably, certainly in mine. So these days, progress, not perfection, in all aspects of living. You know, and that means there's room for improvement, room for growth on a daily basis. And sometimes growth is painful, growth can be wonderful. It's one or the other, or somewhere in between, a bit of both. So sometimes and somehow we get balance in our lives. And the way I get balance in my life these days is to know and acknowledge my addiction and say to myself on a daily basis, yes, I am an alcoholic addict in recovery. I assume, well no, I don't assume, I actually know that for me alcohol is a drug, so addiction is it. And once an addict, always an addict, but it's what we do about it when we've become one, through dependency to addiction, how we get on with our lives 24/7. But it's only one day for me. So what keeps me in the game of life, or in living life and life experience, is family, community, professionals, people who help me along the way to keep alive long enough, and people who still keep me alive long enough. And, in addition to that, a fellowship, and that fellowship is Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for it, never can, never will. It's full of unique, authentic people, all of us unique, authentic, on a life journey, one day at a time. So, in or out of fellowship, it's the same. And with fellowship around me, it helps me keep sober. And if I keep sober one day at a time, then the rest of life can work. So I can be part of family, community, get the best help I can with other chronic conditions. So for me, AA has saved my life and keeps saving my life on a daily basis. Or I could say the unique, authentic individuals in the fellowship keep me safe and on track and save my life a day at a time. And me too, I have to be a part of for it all to happen. So when I go to fellowship meetings, I'm always struck by the AA preamble or statement of intent, which goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help other alcoholics to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And, you know, AA is there to help people stop drinking and stay stopped on a daily basis. It's a one-day program, 24 hours long, and some people have been doing it for a few hours, a day, a week, a month, a year, or decades. And we just learn how to live in the moment of now. And fortunately it's imperfectly perfect, so we are always able to make some progress, even when it's painful. But I haven't had any pain in the last 24 hours, not particularly anyway. And what is working for me? Well, I went to a meeting last night. I was there to do the chair. I got there in good time, I thought, but I got the time wrong, so I was late and somebody took over. And I know in the past I would have felt guilty and shameful about being late, but we have to look at our motives behind it. My motive was to be early, and so all I can say is I'll go back another night and do it again, or be there to do the chair as asked. That's just principally sharing first and then people share back. So meetings always go on regardless, unless nobody shows. But it only takes two people together to make a meeting, and then something happens. we share what's going on. So my daily reflection is here, sharing, and today, Thursday, seems okay. I share literature of AA, Daily Reflections, this book, and in its one month, each month rather, there is a step covered of the 12-step action program for individuals within the fellowship program. So 12 steps of action to help us be open, honest and willing to change our attitude and behaviour on a daily basis. So no matter what is going on, even if we've reacted badly to something, we get the opportunity to put things in balance again and own up to what is going on. And 10th month, October, is all about step 10, which is doing a spot inventory, or doing a daily inventory of what's going right and what's not going right, where there is room for improvement. And we can take the inventory anytime, especially when things are difficult and we are pressured, how to relax and deal with what is going on. And sometimes we have to be fast and fleet of foot, and sometimes we need to just take a time out so we can simmer down into this one moment and stop being angry with ourselves and try not to judge other people. So in the daily reflections for October 22nd, it says true tolerance. Finally, we begin to see that all people, including ourselves, are to some extent emotionally ill or under the weather, as well as frequently wrong. I can be. And then we approach true tolerance and see what real love for our fellows actually means. And that means all fellows, not just fellows in fellowship. It just means all people. The thought occurred to me that all people are emotionally ill to some extent. How could we not be? Who among us is spiritually perfect? Who among us is physically perfect? How could any of us be emotionally perfect? Therefore, what else are we to do but bear with one another, and treat each other as we would be treated in similar circumstances? That is what love really is. And it is. It's to be truly tolerant of ourselves and other people. And if we don't give ourselves a break, how on earth can we give another person a break? Because we're looking for perfection in other people, and it doesn't reside in us. So if we're lucky, we learn these lessons as we go. And some people learn it early in life and get wisdom every day because of it. Or some of us had to go on for a long time, deluded and in denial about an illness which was making us very, very vulnerable, and we might check out. And as Bill sees it, page 235, looking for lost faith. And it says this: any number of AAs can say, we were diverted from our childhood faith. As material success began to come, we felt we were winning at the game of life. This was exhilarating, and it made us happy. Why should we be bothered with theological abstractions and religious duties, or with the state of our souls, here or hereafter? The will to win should carry us through. But then alcohol began to have its way with us. Finally, when all the scorecards read 0, and we saw that one more strike would put us out of the game forever, we had to look at our lost faith. It was in AA that we rediscovered it. And for me, actually, I didn't rediscover my faith. I don't know that I had faith as a child, actually. I was a very fearful one. And that was based on life experience. So, childhood faith. I think I did have some faith in some things. But these days I realise that faith is something that it's with us in the day. And it's not something we manufacture. It's something we experience. Courage, faith and confidence to deal with life on life's terms. So for me, when I look at the elements of the scorecard, reading 0 emotionally, physically and spiritually, these days I'm very happy to say that the spiritual scorecard is not 0, the emotional scorecard is not 0, and the physical scorecard is not 0 either. I don't know where they are right now, but who am I to calibrate them? I just get on with life. So, as I always say at the end of my videos, to God or good conscience, the serenity prayer of acceptance. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is simply for today.